want us to move to cooking fats section. So the first one I want to review is lard. Okay, lard. I like how it sounds. Lard. So let's review lard. Lard is made from pork. So the fatty tissue in pork is now used to make lard. Does the raw material used to make lard produce oil naturally? So as I said, it's made from fatty tissue, and fatty tissue does have fat, so it does produce fat naturally. Then the next aspect that you need to consider is the raw material used to make the cooking fat safe for consumption? Yes, it is. There are people who like to make their pork with the fat on it. It helps them. For a lot of people, they don't even need to use cooking oil. If the pork has some fatty tissue, they can easily fry their pork without adding any cooking oil. The third factor to consider is the process now taken to produce lard. There are three possible ways you can have your lard. There's the unrendered lard, then there's the rendered lard, and then you have the refined one, or the processed, and then we have the processed lard. So the unrendered lard is simply made by trimming the fatty tissue from the pork, from the meat. Then the rendered lard, that is made by melting, filtering, and then chilling or cooling the fatty tissue from the meat. So the only processing there is the melting and filtering part. That helps reduce the taste of the pork, because for the unrendered lard, it has a very strong pork taste and can cause all your food to taste like pork. So for those who do not want the strong pork taste, they opt for the rendered one. So for the processed lard, now they do something called clarification. And clarification is a process of bleaching and hydrogenating the lard so as to remove the pork flavor. So whatever lard results from the clarification process does not have the pork flavor. The process of clarification also keeps the lard at room temperature always. So your cooking fat or the lard will always be solid at room temperature. My honest opinion is go for the unrendered lard, go for the rendered lard. Processed lard, steer clear. Like hydrogenating and bleaching. When I hear such words, I just cringe on the inside. Yeah. But the choice is ultimately yours, okay? The fourth consideration is it suitable for cooking? Does it disintegrate at high temperatures? I would say lard is suitable for cooking. It has been used for centuries, just like olive oil in some cultures, as the cooking fat of choice. In some cultures, they still use it. It was commonly used in a lot of cultures until the invention of vegetable oil. But before then, a lot of people were using lard, they were using tallow or olive oil, depending on the culture or the area. So the smoke point of lard is around 375 degrees Fahrenheit, which is around 190 degrees Celsius. So like I said, it is ideal for cooking. You can use it to cook almost anything. Then the fourth one that I alluded to a few seconds ago is tallow. So let me do a review of tallow. The first factor to consider is the raw material used to make the tallow. Does it produce oil naturally? Yes, it does. Tallow is made from the fatty tissue from cows and sheep. So from beef and mutton, you can get your tallow. The second factor to consider is the raw material safe for consumption? In our case, the raw material is the fat from beef and mutton. Yes, it is safe for consumption. A lot of people are comfortable using the fat from the beef and the mutton to cook. And there's some people who, as they're making the beef and the mutton, they don't feel they need to add cooking oil, because the fat in itself does produce the oil needed to make the meal tasty. And there are people who have no problem eating the fat in beef and mutton. The third factor is the process taken to produce the tallow. The process is so simple. It's actually even simpler than the process taken to produce olive oil and coconut oil. It's very similar to lard, which is just trimming off the fat from the beef or the mutton. That's now your unrendered tallow. There's also the rendered tallow, where you can melt and filter and then cool the fat in order to remove some of the beef or the mutton flavor. There's also refined tallow, which I wouldn't go for. If I was to use cooking fat, I would prefer it being either rendered or unrendered. And for a lot of people, I would say, like, if you want to add in a beef flavor to your meals without needing to add artificial flavors, you can easily use tallow, especially the unrendered tallow, and that will naturally add a beef flavor to your meals without using artificial flavors. Alright, the fourth and final consideration is it suitable for cooking? Does it disintegrate at high temperatures? Well, it is suitable for cooking. Just like lard, it has been used over centuries by cultures, especially those who kept cattle and sheep. It has been used as a cooking fat of choice, and it has a high smoke point that makes it suitable for cooking almost anything. It has a smoke point of around 200 degrees Celsius, 200 degrees Celsius, which is pretty high. So the model I've just presented to you, you can use the same model or the same process to test out other cooking oils in the market and determine which one you want to use. Now, to the cooking oils that I personally try to stay clear of and avoid because they fail the tests and they fail the considerations, you will have to tune in for the next video in order to find out which oils am I talking about, which are those no-go zone oils for me, and we'll take them through the tests. You'll see how they fail, how badly they fail. Until then, you can check out my video where I talk about these 4 factors into detail. Make sure to also subscribe to this channel for more info on fitness, nutrition, and healthy living.